Welcome to the FloScan Datalog Quick Start tutorial. Datalog is a fuel monitoring software for FlowNet systems. It provides both real-time monitoring as well as long-term logging of fuel flow related data. Now, in order to get started, you'll need three things. First, a Windows computer, an Actisense NGT1 NEMA 2000 to PC adapter with the drivers from the Actisense website already installed, and the Datalog setup file. Now, I'd like to walk you through the complete process of setting up and running the software. We'll start by running the installer, hitting Next, accepting the license agreement, and selecting defaults for the program installation folder, as well as the start menu entries. On the next screen, you see additional installation options. Now, you may want to create a desktop and a quick launch icon. And you can decide whether you want to run the software every time you log in as a current user. And I do recommend to install the Actisense NGT1 firmware update and the numeric spreadsheet software at least once. Now, on this machine I have it already installed, so I'm unchecking it for now. After hitting Next, we see the installation summary. Hit the Install button to let the installer actually do its work. So now the installer has finished, and I do want to run it from the desktop icon, not right away from the installer, and I don't want to view the release notes at this time. Once you've made sure that the NGT1 is connected to both the PC's USB port and the live NEMA 2000 network, it's time to actually run the software. The first screen that you'll see is the dashboard with gauges and LC displays for live network data. The gauges show the momentary fuel consumption for the individual FlowNet boxes on the network. One for the port main engine, starboard main engine, port generator, and starboard generator. Underneath each gauge is an LCD that shows a resettable fuel total. By hitting the red reset button, you'll set a new zero reference. This reference only affects the dashboard display, not the network data or the logging data. It has to be confirmed individually. The reference value is actually stored in the registry on the computer. If there is speed over ground information from the GPS available on the network, the software will also calculate and display fuel efficiency, both for main engines only, as well as for all 4 FlowNet devices on the network together. In this case, it will also show you the speed over ground in the current location as the GPS sees it. Let's now have a look at the Monitor tab. The Monitor tab shows all diagnostic data coming from the FlowNet devices in an easy-to-digest fashion. Just as with the dashboard, if speed data is available, it will calculate fuel efficiency and will also show speed over ground, course over ground, and current GPS position. The next tab tells us something about the NEMA 2000 network connection. Now, by default, the software will try to connect to the first Actisense NGT1 interface that it finds. If you have multiple connected, this allows you to switch to another one. The trace at the bottom lists all those PGN messages that the software actively receives, which is great for diagnostics. Now, before we continue to generate a report, let me show you where the software stores all that logging data. For this, we go to the Start menu, All Programs, find the FloScan Datalog, and click on Open Default Log File Directory. This will open the FloScan Datalog folder in the user's application data directory, which may be a hidden directory in your system. The software stores the logging data in comma-separated value files, one for each day, and the date makes up the file name. When the software is closed, or during synchronization, it will automatically zip the current log file to save space. All logging data is kept in the directory and never erased, and you can use these files to generate reports or to send them to FloScan technical support for diagnostics. Let's now generate a report over the data that we have captured so far. For that, we switch to the Report Generator tab. And the first thing you want to choose is the source of the log files. Now by default, you will use the local log files, which are the ones that we've just looked at. But alternatively, you can use log files in any arbitrary directory. Next, we have to tell the software where to store the generated report in CSV format. It can be at any directory. We'll just hit Browse. And we'll save it on the desktop and name it demo.csv. The report can be personalized by entering a vessel name and job information. These are just ordinary strings and can be anything that will help you to identify individual reports in case you generate a lot of them. For the report generator, it is very important to identify all instances of FloNet devices on your network. Now, in a default configuration, instance 0 is the first port main engine. We'll name it accordingly. Instance 1 is also an engine for the starboard. Instance 2 is a generator, port generator. And instance 3 is the starboard generator. And now we're ready to actually generate the report, so hit Generate. And as soon as the progress bar is all green, our report is done. So let's open it to see what we have accomplished. First, adjust the column width. And here we go. In the report, you'll find the vessel name and job information that we just entered, as well as the first and last timestamp for the whole report. If available, you'll also find GPS location and movement data. You'll also see current and accumulated fuel consumption, as well as fuel efficiency for all devices together or only the main engines. And please note that all data is arranged horizontally in 1-minute timestamps, which makes for much easier reading. Data is also available for the individual engines and generators, current and total fuel consumption, supply and return flow rates and temperatures, as well as engine hours. Overall, an easy-to-digest report that can also serve as the basis for further processing in numeric, Excel, or other spreadsheet software. Let's now leave the report to show you other features in the software. If you need to copy log files between computers, for example because FloScan technical support asks you for them, and the computer that runs Datalog does not have internet access, the USB sync feature is what you want to use. It operates fully automatic, so it couldn't be easier to use. What you need to do is plug in a specially prepared USB stick from FloScan, and as soon as you do that, the USB sync LED will light up, and the software will copy those files that are not yet on the USB stick to there. Now, please note that during USB sync, all data capturing and logging activity is halted, so there will be no update to dashboard, monitor, or connection tabs. As soon as you unplug the USB stick, normal logging activity will resume. The software will remember the last selected tab and come up with the same tab selected when you restart the software. It will also retain your favorite shade of background that you selected for the dashboard. This sums up the capabilities of the new Datalog fuel monitoring software for FloNet systems. If you have any questions, please visit us at www.floscan.com or call at 206-524-6625.